I'm going to cover the 2 things that you can do this week to bring in more junk removal jobs so you can grow your junk removal business. Now, these 2 things are the exact same things that I set up for all my junk removal clients that help them close 20% more business and bring in hundreds of leads each month for their business. If you're new here, my name is Armando and I work with local companies helping them use the internet to bring in more leads and jobs. And if that's something you're interested in, subscribe so you don't miss any of the other videos. The very first thing that I'm going to cover is something that is missing from 99% of all junk removal companies. In fact, it's missing from 99% of all local contractor companies. And this is the ability to implement a really fast lead to speed system. By simply doing these things that I'm about to show you, you could probably close 20% more business without running paid advertising and without doing any other extra marketing efforts, by squeezing more juice out of the lemon that you've already got in hand. Okay, so what I'm showing you right here on the screen is a website from one of our customers, one of our clients. And if you're anything like most junk removal companies, you've been in business for 6 months, plus, you've already probably invested in a website. You've already probably invested in a Google Map listing. You are already probably posting on those neighborhood groups, already getting referrals, already building those relationships, and people are starting to come to you. However, one crucial element that most everyone is missing is the ability to implement a lead to speed system. And I'm going to show you how this works on this client's website. And then I'm going to take you behind the scenes and show you the nuts and bolts so you can hopefully set this up for your own business. Now, what you're looking at here is just your standard junk removal website. However, there are a few elements on this website that allow for our systems to automatically trigger on the back end and have a solid follow-up system and sales process in place to close 20% more of the business that actually comes in here. Believe it or not, everybody who comes to your website, anybody who visits you, who calls you, who contacts you, not 100% of those people are going to buy from you. So in other words, you have to set up a system that allows you to sell how you buy. And your customers who are looking for these services are also pricing out other junk removal companies. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to go with the person or the company who can respond to them the fastest and can get to them, almost instantly. So if you do not have the ability to get to these people instantly, you're going to lose out to your competitors. And here's how you fix this. This website right here is several parts. Part number 1 is this automated form that you see here. This isn't your standard form on a junk removal website. In a typical setup, somebody fills this form out or goes to Book Now and they have a form. They fill it out. That goes to an email in Neverland, and you or somebody on your team checks that email when you get a chance, when you're not busy, when you're not doing work anymore, and actually reply to this customer and have this back and forth conversation with them. And by that time, hopefully, if they haven't gone to your competitors, you may enter into some agreement. That right there will lose you all those customers who want that instant gratification and need the pricing right away. Step number 2 is to actually have some sort of 2-way interaction on your site that allows people to give them your information and your information to them in a quote in a more private or more intimate setting. And that's where this little text widget comes in. People that come to your site can automatically opt in and ask you questions in here. And this is not a website chat. This is a 2-way text message conversation. Your system is actually going to get this text message, and you can set up automatic rules in order for you to respond to these people back and forth. The other thing is a tracking mechanism. This number right here is a tracking number where you can call and people can set up different rules. So for our customers, whenever somebody calls their business and they're not able to pick up the phone because they're either on a job site or they're busy or they just happen to miss the phone call, our system automatically text these people back asking them, hey, sorry that I missed your call. Did you have any junk removal issues or did you want to book on our calendar? And this, by simply doing these 2 or 3 things alone, you can close 20% of the business that comes your way. Now, I'm going to jump into the back end and show you how you can actually set this up. Now, what you're looking at here is our system that we're using, and if you want to follow along or you want to snag up a copy of this or you want help setting it up, there is a link in the description of this video with all the resources that I mentioned in here and all the automations that we use on the back end for you to replicate in your own junk removal business as well. Basically, the way this works is something that is connected to your phone number, it's connected to your Google My Business, it is connected to your website, it's pretty much connected to any referral source that you've got, and handles everything else that happens once somebody becomes a lead, up to the customer interaction all the way to the sale. It basically does the heavy lifting for you. It's like having 2 or 3 office employees constantly being available to your customers 24/7 so that they can close more of the business. Now, what drives this is the section that's called automations. Basically, it's a list of rules that you want to happen when a certain action takes place on your website or somebody interacts with your company. So for example, we have one of the most powerful features here called Missed Text Back. You can kind of see that this person has missed 25 phone calls in the past 30 days or 40 days or so. So rather than losing those 25 phone calls to your competitors, because most people are not going to leave a voice message, they're just going to hang up and go to the next guy in line, we have automation set up that allow us to instantly text these people back. So somebody calls in and they missed the call. Basically, we send out a text saying, hey, sorry that we missed your call. Can we help you? Were you inquiring about junk removal services, etc.? This brings these people back into a text conversation. And from here, there is a series of automations that follow up with this person automatically so that you're not having to do it manually. If these people don't respond within, let's say, 5 minutes, we send an additional text, and then we send a voicemail drop, and then they get an email sent to them following up with the services up until they say, yes, I'm interested in your junk removal company services, or I'm not. The next thing that we do is we instantly address the forms that are coming from your website. As soon as somebody submits a form on your website or through the chat widget, we send them a text message saying, hey, first name, thanks for reaching out. We're going to be reaching out to you shortly. We are acknowledging that you submitted a form, and they typically get this within 1 minute of them submitting that form on the website, so they know that it's a real person texting back and it's a human. This allows our people to have the fastest response time to these leads so they can close more of that business. So just implementing these 3 things alone, having the ability to text message somebody back, having the ability to instantly respond and communicate and acknowledge those leads that are coming in within the first 2 to 3 minutes, and having the ability to give people another option to be able to text you back will capture roughly about 10 to 20, even 30% of all your business without doing anything else when it comes to your junk removal company. Now, the second thing that I want to show you is actually a little bit more on the advertising side. This is how you can set up a simple ad that brings in more junk removal business every single week like clockwork. This is the exact same process that's allowed us to generate hundreds of junk removal jobs per month for our clients across any market. And I'm going to show you how to set this up right now. Now, in order to do this, I'm going to be using Facebook. We're going to be setting up a simple yet effective ad that isn't going to break the bank and is going to bring quality people through your front doors. Now, for those of you who do want to follow along and want to get in deeper into this process, you can look in the description of this video. All the resources that I mentioned are there, but I also have a mini workshop that walks you in depth on how to create a Facebook ad for your junk removal company that's going to bring in more leads, and how to automate all the process of following up with these people, reaching out to them, and getting them on the horn so that you can book more business. So let's get started with this. Very first thing is you're going to choose a campaign. The campaign that we're going to be selecting is going to be leads, and you're going to click continue. Once you do this, all you're going to have to do here at the campaign level is basically label this something that makes sense to you, and make sure that advanced campaign budget is actually shut off. The next thing that you're going to do is go to the campaign lead ads section. And again, once again, you're going to be labeling this something that makes sense to you. You're going to click the conversation or the conversion location. This is where you want the lead to take place, and you're going to choose instant forms. After you select instant forms, you're going to come down to the section that says budget and schedule. This is where you're actually going to put your budget that you want to spend on this ad. I recommend you start small. Whatever your budget is your budget, and just start small and kind of grow it from there. Next thing that you're going to want to do is come to the audience section. This is where you're going to select your demographic. This is where the ad is actually going to run. Now, you don't want to run it in the entire United States. Pick the area of town that you want to run this ad in, the zip code, the service area, etc., and plug it in here in this section where it says search. Next thing that you're going to want to do is adjust a little bit more demographics, find out who your ideal target is. Generally speaking, 18-year-olds are probably not going to be your target, so pick from the age range that matters to you all the way through. Also, you're going to get here to the detailed targeting section, and you want to make sure that if you've got detailed targeting in here, you know where these people are hanging out, choose it. If not, just leave it alone and go on to the next step, which is placements. Under placements, what you're going to want to do is choose manual placements and actually select the placements that you want your ad to run. For example, if you don't have an Instagram account, then don't choose Instagram. If you don't have a video that's running, then don't choose video placements. That way your budget doesn't get burned on placements that don't actually matter and aren't going to convert. The last thing that you're going to do is actually set up your ad in order to bring people in through the sales process. Again, go to the name and make sure that you name this something that actually makes sense. From here, you are actually going to go to the ad setup, and you're going to be given two options: single image or video, or carousel. For now, leave it at single image, and then select media type here from the ad creatives. You're going to click media, add image, and actually choose the image that you want to use in your advertising. So after you select your image, you're going to want to put in your ad copy, whatever your offer is. If you have a sale or a special that you're going after, plug it in there. If you've got something that you want to advertise, something that makes you a little bit different, maybe you're locally operated, maybe you're a husband and wife team, maybe you are just you live in the exact same community that you're servicing, put it in there, put out your ad copy, and then your headline goes in the headline section. Once you do that, you're going to click your call to action, and that's either going to be learn more or get a quote. From here, what you want to do next is actually create a short form that is going to allow people to become leads. So what you're going to do here is click on create form, and this is going to open up the little form wizard section here. Once you open up the form, the very first thing that you're going to want to do is actually give this a name, and we're going to actually be configuring this form in order for people to give us their information for them to become leads. And then I'm going to show you what happens after they become a lead, because this is the part that makes this whole process really cool and really profitable. So first things first is form type. I always start with either more volume or higher volume. Next thing you're going to do is actually click on questions, and on this question section, this is where you're going to capture lead information. So you can capture things like first name, last name, email address, phone number would be a good one. So go to contact field, add phone number, and then you may even add an actual custom question to this section here that allows you to actually filter more information. So for example, I can use something like multiple choice question, and just have you say something like, hey, are you looking to get junk removal services? Okay, this is going to be sort of like a filtering, pre-qualifying question. Obviously, if they answer no, then you're not going to want to, reach out to them. But if they answer yes, it's going to prompt them to enter their name, phone number, email, and all that stuff for them to become a lead. The next step is actually setting up your private policy. Just go to your website, copy it, put it in here, and then move on to the last step. Last step is actually the completion step. This is where you're going to tell people what they need to expect. So basically, if you're going to reach out to them right away, which is something that we do, we say, hey, listen, thank you for filling this out. We're going to send you a text right away in order to confirm a few things. And once you click publish, here, this is ready to go. Now the next step to actually making this ad work is actually clicking this green publish button here at the very lower right hand corner of the screen. This is going to send this ad for approval on Facebook, making sure that what you're saying is true, that you're a legitimate company, and then it's going to start to show to those ideal customers in that area with your offer. Now the next step that I'm going to show you is what happens after this. How do we maximize this, and how do we close more deals from these leads coming in? Okay, so in order to actually automatically book these people, follow up with them, and avoid and filter out the tire kickers from the people who are really serious, we're going to go back into our tool, which, like I said, there's a link in the description. You can go ahead and check that out. Does all this for us. This actually saves us a ton of time from having to go and sift through this process ourselves, having to reach out to these people, having to wait for them to call us back, having to hit dead ends with phone numbers. This is actually going to do the filtering, the pre-qualification, and the booking process all the way for us automatically. So here's where we start. We start with an automation, and we tell the system, hey, somebody submitted a form on Facebook, and it's this specific form that we've got labeled here. And then we tell it to do a series of things. Number one, we wanted to create an opportunity in our dashboard so we can see all the leads that come in. We can see the cost for those leads, and we can see all that information live, not to some spreadsheet that goes to Google Drive that you'll then have to check and download and manually email and text these people. Not like that, automatically. The next thing that we do is we send you and your team notification that the lead has come in. We either do this by email and we do this by text so that you have the highest possible opportunity to close these deals. Now, instantly, the lead gets an email. Thanks for reaching out to us about our junk removal services. Please send us a couple pictures of the project or book on our calendar in order to receive an accurate estimate. Next thing that we do is instantly, within a matter of 30 seconds, these people also get a text message verifying their phone number saying, hey, this is John with ABC Junk Removal Company. I just want to verify that I got the right phone number. You submitted the form. We need a little bit more information from you. Can we call you, or can you send it through text, depending on how you run your business? Okay, we wait for a reply. If the customer does not respond to our email or to the text, we then follow up with them within the next 15 minutes with another text and another email and a voicemail drop. If they don't respond to that, we wait 1 day and then we follow up with them again with a voicemail drop, meaning we leave a voicemail automatically. The system does this for you without you doing anything else, leaves a voicemail for them, and what they hear is, hey, this is John with ABC Junk Removal. You reached out to us about junk removal services. We just wanted to follow up with you, making sure that you still needed that. And that way the customer can then call you back, okay? The other thing that we do is we follow up with them automatically with a text message, and then we wait. If they don't respond to that, we wait and we follow up with them on day number 2 with another text message, with an email, and all the way to day number 3. If they do not respond after that, then we consider those to be tire kickers, and your team is not wasting time calling these people and hitting dead ends. The system actually does this filtering for you so that you don't have to mess with those. If they do respond to that, meaning that yes, they were responsive, then we send a text and we say, great, we need to give you a quote, and this is the next step. One of our reps is going to call you, and we instantly call them, or book on our calendar so you can get a time that works for you, and then they book, they're on the calendar, and then we actually book them. You show up to the job site and you close the deal. So all this is happening behind the scenes automatically, but it's increasing your lead to speed time by like light years. Most junk removal companies, most general contractors don't have the best response times. They're not known in the industry for their response time, okay? And so this eliminates all that without having you add extra employees, without having you spend a ridiculous amount of money on, like, adding, another person or a separate phone line or anything like that. It happens all behind the scenes. Now I'm going to show you what this system allows us to do, and what you're looking at right now is the behind the scenes of one of our clients where we run junk removal leads and jobs for. And what I'll do here is I'm going to go ahead and actually filter this by dates, and we are going to say that we're in September right now. As of the recording of this video, it's like September 13th, so we're just going to do September 1st to the 13th so you can kind of see what we've done here. So September 1st through the 13th, you can kind of see that in 13 days, okay, we've generated a total of 34 leads. You can see it down here on the bottom right hand side. You can see the names here in the middle. Now I'm going to filter out and go to June 1st to June 30th, and you can see that there were another 46 leads that came in just specifically for that month. Now this is a smaller company. They don't have the ability to handle massive amounts of volumes, but they definitely have their hands full with the amount of leads that they're coming in addition to what I showed you in the beginning, which was maximizing what they're already getting from their website. So If this was a video that helped you out, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel. Also, everything that I mentioned, all the resources are linked in the description of this video, so you can go ahead and check it out. You can get access to the mini workshop where I break down how to set these ads up in depth, specifically how to do your targeting, specifically how to come up with a good offer, and then the automations that go behind it. I actually give that away in the training, so you can use it to set up your own system if you wanted to do that. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all on the next one.